All that we've seen or seen is but a dream within a dream, by Edgar Allan Poe. Good evening, my lovely dark souls. Welcome to Poets and Authors Monday. I know it's been a long time since I came up with a video like this one. And there will be more. It's just been a rough year. If you're new here, welcome. I am your host, Keya Reed. And on this channel, on Mondays, I share, recite, and review dark and romantic poetry, as well as novels and short stories from horror and murder mystery genres that are written by poets and authors. You'll see new content every Monday night. If you love dark and terrifying and suspenseful content, then hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on new content on my Wicked Majesty channel. Also, if you are interested in poems and short stories, then check out Dark Night, and also check out my horror stories on Tea and Terror Thursdays, which will be coming up next year, because there's a lot of things that I have to get settled, but at least you know about it. So be looking out.
I'm a monster, spreading hate, stealing time. I'm a monster, laying base when it's cloudy. Oh, pilgrim inside of me.
Edgar Allan Poe was a famous American horror writer and poet who has been a great inspiration to many authors of his time and mine. He is my biggest inspiration to the poetry that I write, and my personal favorite author of all time. One day I was browsing around the internet and just kind of Googling, and came across a question that I will address, which is, did Edgar Allan Poe romanticize death? The short answer is yes. And in this video, I will give you the top 10 speculated reasons for why he did romanticize death. Let's start the countdown. Number 10. Family loss at an early age. Edgar Allan Poe was born in Boston in 1809. Both of his parents died when he was only 2 years old. He was then fostered by a wealthy tobacco merchant and his wife, John and Frances Allan. Number 9. Disowned. Poe and his foster father never really got along with each other. Allan would often state that Edgar acted unappreciative of what he and his wife had provided him. During John Allan's time on his deathbed, he cursed at Edgar and threatened to kill him if he didn't leave. Number 8. Hardships. It was no secret that Poe's foster father, John Allan, was a tightwad and didn't financially assist his son with what he needed. When Edgar was in college, John only sent a third of what was needed for Poe to sustain himself for the semester. However, with Edgar, he went into major debt because of the fact that he also drank heavily and would gamble, thus leaving him with hardly anything and having to burn his own furniture just to stay warm at night. Number 7. Unlucky in love. Poe absolutely loved the ladies. Even a lady whom isn't best suited as being a thought of becoming a spouse to Poe, which was his own 13-year-old cousin, Virginia, which historically was accepted. Virginia, like his mother, would pass away of tuberculosis, making him a widower. However, He would continue trying to court many widows in order to marry himself out of debt. He later on became engaged with his first love, whom he was engaged to before his wife, which was Sarah Royster. Sarah Royster was his high school sweetheart, and she had become a widow herself, and she was his fiancée up until Edgar Allan Poe's death. Number 6. Love of the Spirits. Like Edgar's biological father, David Poe, he was always drinking. It's said that this was something that ran in his family due to his brother falling into the same addiction. It's been speculated that this addiction was so strongly affiliated with Poe's mysterious death. Number 5. Opium Fantasies. It has been speculated that Poe had a strong love for the drug opium, which was widely used by many authors such as Oscar Wilde and Samuel Taylor Coleridge. However, I will say this is definitely a rumor. Poe never did drugs. Number 4. Bad blood between peers. Poe was said to often have bad ties with other writers and his co-workers. He was even accused of plagiarism. It is also said he would start arguments with others as well. It's highly speculated as being drunk or under the influence. Number 3. Loneliness. Even though Poe did have some lady loves, he still walked alone. It was rumored that he missed his wife so much to where he would often sleep by her side in her grave. How true that is unknown. Number 2. Possibly mentally ill. It's been theorized that Edgar Allan Poe suffered from severe depression, major depression, persistent depression, or may have been bipolar. All of these have been linked to the possibility of his neurotic behavior. Number 1. The Romantic Era. During this time period, people were obsessed with death due to the fact that it was so frequent with the life expectancy of 30 years. It was common to see family portraits with decaying bodies of lost loved ones. So with Poe losing his parents at a young age, losing his foster mother, and losing his wife, it is no surprise that the subject of death would be a major focal point in most of his literary work. Of the dead. Thy soul shall find itself alone, mid thoughts of the grey tombstone, not one of all the crowd to pry into thine hour of secrecy. Be silent in that solitude, which is not loneliness for them. The spirits of the dead who stood in life before thee are again, in death around thee, and their will shall overshadow thee. Be still. The night thou clear shall frown, and the stars shall look not down from their high throne in heaven, with light like hope to mortals given, but their red orbs without beam to thy weariness shall seem as a burning and a fever, which would cling to thee forever. Now our thoughts thou shalt not banish, now our visions never to vanish. From thy spirit shall they pass, no more like dewdrops from the grass. The breeze, the breath of God is still, and the mist upon the hill, shadowy, shadowy yet unbroken, is a symbol and a token. How it hangs upon the trees, a mystery of mysteries. If you like this video, you should check out my other video called Darkness by Lord Byron. Also, please be sure to hit that like button down below. And if you have a favorite dark poet or horror story writer and you would like for me to feature them on the Poets and Authors Mondays, DM me and let me know, and I will gladly post up a video about them. This is your host, Keya, signing off. If you made it this far in the video, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that bell for notifications. Also, I would like to know what your thoughts are about the video you've just seen. Did you like the content? Comment down below and let me know. Until next time, sleep tight and don't let the shadows bite.